friends, we are here with another Libby Picks My Reads videos. I love having just one of these going at all times so that I am able to really take advantage of that skip the line feature on Libby. And I was scrolling the other day and I saw something that's on my TBR that I've been really looking forward to reading that was available for skip the line, and I was like, I'm gonna snag that up right now, and I am going to just have to film one of these videos. And so our first read, if you don't know, I love to use the Libby skip the line feature, which to my understanding, Libby itself has its own collection of books, and the skip the line feature is the Libby's actual books that you can borrow. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't super understand it, but this is the book, and today I'm just going to pick 3 books that I see on there that look interesting, that are on my TBR, and use it as a way to get them off. This book was on there, and I was able to snag the audio for it, and this is called The Heartbreak Hotel by Ellen O. Clover. This was a book of the month pick, and first off, this cover is so pretty. I feel like nothing is focusing. There we go. Cover is so pretty. So I'm very excited to read this one, but let's just read what it's about. A bed and breakfast for the brokenhearted might hold the key to another chance at love in this achingly hopeful debut romance. Louisa Walsh emerged from a tumultuous childhood with a degree in counseling, a wealthy boyfriend, and her sunny outlook on life mostly intact. But that optimism is tested when she's dumped and left unable to afford rent on their gorgeous house in the mountains of Colorado. Even with her life in disarray, Lou knows losing the one stable place she's ever called home is not an option. Her plan? Ask her reclusive landlord, Henry Rhodes, to let her stay for free in exchange for renting out the house's many rooms as a bed and breakfast. She's shocked when he agrees to her terms and is even more surprised to discover Henry is a handsome 30-something veterinarian with silver at his temples and sadness in his eyes. One who does not take well when Lou starts marketing her B&B as a retreat for the recently broken-hearted. But as the comeback inn opens its doors to its weary, hopeful guests, Lou and Henry find themselves dancing around with both their undeniable connection and the closely held secrets that threaten to topple this fragile new start. A chance at love here could be too close to home, or it could be exactly what their hearts finally heal. But overall, I think this is going to be a really sweet story. Let's get into it. I'm so sorry I don't have a midway checkpoint for this, but that is because I listened to this entire book yesterday while I was working at my friend's small business, and I didn't want to film at her office. That would be weird. So I listened to the entirety of this book, and I did give it 3 stars. I don't think that there is inherently anything wrong with this book. It was a fine book that I read, and I'm never going to think about it again. I already don't remember the characters' names. Louisa and Henry. So Louisa is dating this guy who is like a musician, and he has recently cheated on her, she found out, and they have broken up. He actually broke up with her. Whatever, he had lied to her about cheating. She thought she caught him a while ago. She believed him, but he was a liar. And so the only request she has in this divorce is she wants the house. And he agrees, and the issue is Louisa can't afford the house. So her friend May comes over because May also recently got dumped by her partner, and May's kind of going through it. Louisa's going through it. So they kind of band together to come up with an idea, and they come up with this idea of turning the big home into a hotel. And then they get this idea to make it a hotel for brokenhearted people to come and feel better. She presents the idea of the B&B to Henry. He agrees, and then when he finds out that it's a Heartbreak hotel, he's not as happy about it, but reluctantly he continues to let her do this. Through the story, she and Henry become closer. Obviously, they're literally together on the cover, but there is some information that he is keeping from her. Some really sad things have happened in his life, which I'm not going to spoil for you, of course, but it does come back around and cause some issues with his relationship with Louisa when she finds out bits of information that not that he was keeping from her intentionally, but he just wasn't being forthcoming with, and she saw that as lying. So that was that. The third act conflict was fine. Fine is just the word for this book. It was a 3-star. I'm not jumping over I'm not head over heels looking for more books by this author, but if you have this book, yeah, give it a read. It was fine. We're cheating a little bit, just a tiny bit for this video, because this is Libby Picks My Reads, and Libby is still picking my read, but I don't know, I think there was like some sort of glitch with the skip the line yesterday, or like, no, let me explain it to you. So I go to skip the line yesterday, and I see the new Freida McFadden book, Dear Debbie, which was picked by my book club to be our February read. Great, whatever. So I click on skip the line options, and Dear Debbie is on there, and I'm like, oh, amazing, 2 birds with 1 stone. I could read book club and I can do it for this video. And then when I clicked the loan, it had skip the line because I have 4 libraries on there. Skip the line for one of the libraries, and when you do skip the line, you have to listen to it within 7 days, or just one of the other libraries had like 40 copies of it. So I selected the one that had 40 copies of it so that I'll have a 14-day loan rather than a 7-day loan. But like, it was still on Skip the Line. I just didn't borrow it from Skip the Line. Does that make sense? But I'm sure you guys don't care. But that is what I'm going to be listening to next in this video. I don't have it physically. There has been a couple of books that I've seen pop up on Skip the Line that I wouldn't mind listening to, but I don't own them. And as somebody who has like 200 unread books, I should probably pick things that are for a purpose, which is either they're on my TBR or it's for book club. And I will probably eventually buy Dear Debbie because I have like most of Freida McFadden's books in the collection. But I hope it didn't come out in hardcover, because The Intruder came out in hardcover, and who the fuck wants hardcover Freida McFadden? I bought it because it was 50% off at Barnes & Noble, so it was $13. So it's cheaper than a paperback. But girl, you're not a hardback type of bitch. So that is where we are going next in this video, and I just wanted to get y'all updated on that. Okay guys, we're a little bit halfway through Dear Debbie, and this book is wild. Is it good? No, not at all. But it's giving like 3 stars. I didn't even realize I was at like 55, 60%. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta stop to tell my friends what is happening. So, must be a ghost because the door just creaked open. But basically, we're following 3 points of view. We've got Debbie, Dear Debbie. We've got her husband, whose name is Cooper, I believe, and we have this girl Harley who works at the gym that they go to. So Debbie is an advice columnist, and I don't really know what Cooper does. He works for some like place at like some firm that he wants to become partner at. And the book starts with he's going to work, trying to talk to his boss about becoming partner. Debbie's going about her day. We get snippets from her advice column, and she gives the craziest advice, like try this, and if it doesn't work, kill him. Is basically her advice for everything. She gets fired from her job because she basically told somebody to divorce their husband, and then he came and like started a fit with the newspaper, so she's fired and whatever. So we see her doing all these crazy things. She's fighting with one of the neighbors over, like, she was gonna get her garden in like a magazine, but then this other lady in the neighborhood was gonna get it instead, so she sabotages her garden. Her daughter quits or gets kicked off the soccer team. She gets to the bottom of it and does some crazy shit. Her husband, this thing's happening, does some crazy shit. She's mad at her book club. She just keeps doing crazy shit. She is a batshit crazy woman doing crazy batshit stuff. She, I think, in her mind is like a vigilante, but really she's taking everything way too far at all times. And I really don't know the point. I don't know what we're getting at other than she's crazy, Harley's crazy. They're all crazy. They're all nuts, and I don't like her behavior. It's entertaining, that's for sure, because she's just doing wackadoodle stuff every 5 seconds. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I don't really want to say much because this is a super fast-paced, quick thriller, and I don't want to spoil anything big. But just know, Debbie, she's whack. Okay guys, I am back from vacay, and this is gonna be the last book that Libby is having us read, and this is called The Push by Audrain. I know this has been recommended to me, I think by a gal named Chloe, because I think this is about like a psychotic child, which if you know me, you know I do love me a psychotic child story. And yeah, I am ready to get into it. It's blurbed by Kristen Hanna, which is an amazing sign. I know this is this author's debut. It's also blurbed by Lisa Jewell, which is not a good sign because I don't really like Lisa Jewell and I don't know any of these other people. But we are going to read this. I'm going to not start it right away because the Olympics are about to start, so I want to watch that, but I am going to listen to all of this today. The audio is only 9 hours, so at 3 times speed, it should only take me about 3 hours to get through The Push. And I will check in with you guys when I am about halfway through. We're about halfway through The Push, and I am live, laugh, loving this. So we have a couple of different timelines here. We've got Blythe in like her childhood timeline and Blythe in her now timeline. Growing up, her mom definitely struggled with mental health, had a lot of issues, and took it out on Blythe. She was neglected, abused. Her mom did not want her. And so then we're in the present timeline where we have Blythe, and she is married, and she and her husband have their daughter. Her husband's name is Fox, and they have their daughter Violet. And she does not connect to Violet. It's like beyond postpartum depression. Like she wants nothing to do with her, and she thinks that Violet is evil. And Violet keeps doing bad behavior and is being horrible. She won't sleep, she's only good for her dad, the typical thing. So, whenever they get a call home from school, the teacher has them come in, I think it's when she's in daycare, she kind of tells the parents that she's like having some behavior that's concerning, where she like, kids are afraid of her because she hurts them. She tells her mom like, this person made me mad at school, I'm gonna hurt them tomorrow. She's cutting off people's hair, she's pinching, she's putting rocks in their pants. She's just being horrible. And then one day she literally, the mom thinks, there's no confirmation, that Violet essentially pushed a kid down a slide and killed him at a playground. So Violet's absolutely awful, but Blythe kind of wants a redo. She wants to have another kid because she wants to be a good mom. She doesn't want to be like her mother. So they end up having a boy, Sam, and she is smitten with Sam. She loves him, she's connected to him, and she feels nothing towards Sam as she does about Violet. So we're on this journey trying to figure out if something really is wrong with Violet. So yeah, it says their son Sam is born, and with him Blythe has a blissful connection she always imagined with a child. Even Violet seems to love her brother, but when life as they know it is changed in an instant, the devastating fallout forces Blythe to face the truth. The Push is a tour de force you will read in a sitting, an utterly immersive novel that will challenge everything you think you know about motherhood, about what we owe our children, and what it feels like when women are not believed. Because her husband does not believe that there's anything wrong with Violet. He thinks Violet can do no wrong, but Violet's doing wrong, that's for sure. So I am for sure gonna finish this. I am absolutely loving it. It's literally only 24 hours later and I sound like this. It is what it is. Allergies are kicking my ass. But I did finish The Push by Audrain, and I ended up giving this 4 stars. I really, really, really enjoyed this. Basically, immediately after I talked to you guys last, something crazy happened. And I'm not really going to tell you a lot about what happens in the second half of this book, because everything was like, what the fuck is happening? Truly. But in the best way possible, and I just overall had a really, really great time with this. 4 stars. This is the type of thriller that I like. If you know of more books like this, let me know, because I am deeply, deeply, deeply looking for more books like this to add to my collection. But that is going to be everything for this Libby Picks My Reads video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you maybe got some good suggestions. If you are not subscribed, please do so. I'm trying really hard to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. And yeah, I'd really appreciate it. And comment down below. Let me know if you use the Libby Skip the Line service. And if you made it to the end of this video, drop a pregnant emoji down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye!